Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with Doom! The Dark Ages.
You know what time it is? It is time to slay some demons and become the scariest thing in hell. This time the game is leaning to the fantasy side with all the medieval stuff everyone likes, but will still stay sci-fi with all the weapons, mechanisms and hellish technologies. You know, who cares? It's Doom. It's fast-paced, it's entertaining, and you can slay demons left and right. All in all, you are one of the most powerful and beloved heroes in the pop culture of humanity. Here a new item called Shield Saw awaits you. It is literally a shield that, is also a saw. It's not very hard to guess how you will use it. People on Steam are saying that The Dark Ages is a very solid title, feels like a true Doom sequel, and the review score is above 80%. The downside, in my opinion, is that the Slayer doesn't feel like an unstoppable machine. You have to constantly pick specific weapons for specific enemies and use the shield in a specific way, so sometimes you feel like you have to solve a puzzle instead of just slaying everyone left and right. Despite that, it's pure fun and the visuals are gorgeous, just like you, my friend. Buckshot Roulette. Let me start with the fact that the review score on Steam is above 90%, and that puts this game in a rare category where almost everyone who bought the game liked it. While the price may have something to do with that, there aren't many cheaper games that are as good as this one, that's for sure. Here you will take a seat at the 4-way multiplayer table. You will bargain, beg, and betray. You will die or, become the ultimate victor and walk away rich. If you played the Liar's Bar and liked it, this may be a true delicious spoon of potato salad for you. Although this time, instead of a revolver, you will use a shotgun. Way cooler than just a revolver. Rounds are quick, 15 to 20 minutes, so it is very suitable for a nice round while waiting for something or, while thirsting for a thrill. And there are plenty of players in game. Around 2000 were killing each other in a fun way while I was writing this review. HELLDIVERS 2. After geo-blocking half of the world and getting a huge backlash by requiring a mandatory PSN account, Sony finally backed down. Their stupid plan failed completely, and now most of the world can play their games anyway. So basically, if you saw a movie Starship Troopers, that is what you will get here. You will step into the boots of an awesome soldier from a military society, and along with other players you will eradicate alien insects, various monsters that may look anything in between from a ladybug to a Zerg, or die miserably from a friendly fire of an idiot sitting half an Earth away from you. And then try again. Capturing enemy planets, defending against invasions and completing missions will contribute to our overall effort. The war will be won or lost depending on the actions of everyone involved. People on Steam are saying that HELLDIVERS 2 is one of the most entertaining co-op shooters you can try. And the main thing driving people to this game is no doubt a camaraderie with your fellow players fighting against evil monsters who just try to live on their planets peacefully. ColdBeer. In this hack-and-slash action RPG, you will play as a warrior fighting to rescue the soul of the Counselor, your fallen mentor. With each descent into the darkness, time warps and your power grows as you confront the dark forces that claimed your mentor's head and trapped his soul. Here every second counts as you will charge to battle the undead forces and risk delving deeper for powerful loot. Yeah, amigo, this game is filled with various treasures you can find. So while you face the nightmarish incarnations, you will also hunt down ancient relics infused with the strength of unimaginable power and create various skill combinations. The setting of the game is quite unusual. It's Brazil and not some imaginary land. That's cool, I guess. I like Brazil. The game features a 3-act story campaign where you will slay hordes of demons, craft items and control godly powers. People on Steam are saying that this is an excellent action RPG, but it is filled with bugs and glitches, though not everyone experiences those. The game's score on Steam is very positive. Rage. The first Rage game is very Falloutish and more loved by players than Rage 2. You know, like your siblings are more loved than you and your family. So Rage is an interesting look into life after the end of everything. And that end came along with an asteroid. Not a very ingenious plot, but I guess still better love story than a zombie apocalypse. You know, there are hundreds of more interesting ways to end the world than these cliché scenarios. For example, beer could become sentient and take over the world, or cats suddenly mutate into psychics and when they are hungry and that's bullets all the time, they make you dance until you drop dead.
Dance, human, dance for me, meow meow.
I don't know, the possibilities of world ending are actually endless. Why stick to like 7 most boring ones? So here you emerge into this vast wasteland to fight against bandit gangs, mutants and the authority, an oppressive government regime that has a special interest in you in particular. Tannenberg. The game brings the massive battles of the Eastern Front and the First World War to life with 64 players fighting for control of key sectors of the battlefield, each one offering a distinct strategic advantage. Here you'll find authentic atmosphere with accuracy in everything, from maps and weaponry to uniforms. Game has great tactical squad-based FPS, players Romanian, Latvian, Austro-Hungarian, German or Bulgarian. But I have to warn you that if you don't have 64 friends, just forget about those 64 player battles. The last update was a year ago and there's like 30 people online averagely at all time. Still, the price is nice and so is the game. Blasphemous 2. Awakened in a strange new land and displaced from your final resting place, you thrust back into the endless cycle of life, death and resurrection. There is no other option than to explore this perilous new world and uncover its long-forgotten secrets. There is nothing game-changing or very innovative in the second part of the Blasphemous, but you know the rule, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Your journey starts anew in a series of enchantingly grotesque landscapes, oozing gothic charm and littered with unforgiving traps. How you tackle the labyrinthian world remains at your discretion. There is no wrong turn to be made, only scores to settle. Taking down your enemies won't be easy, but the game is offering more chances to customize and improve your skill set, along with several new unique weapons to wield, so victory might just be within your grasp, but probably not. Pacific Drive. This is a very interesting title with mechanics you won't usually see in other games. In this driving survival adventure you face supernatural dangers on each expedition into the exclusion zone. Make your base of operations in an abandoned garage, where you'll research new parts, customize your station wagon and chart routes deeper into the zone. As you gather precious resources and investigate what's been left behind in the zone, you learn exactly what it takes to survive in this unpredictable hostile environment. All the vibes here lead to Strugatsky Brothers and their roadside picnic story. Many games draw inspiration from it, from legendary S.T.A.L.K.E.R to a recent gem Tunguska the Visitation. And if you like the theme about some stranger things happening in this specific area, I recommend you to watch the movie named Annihilation with Natalie Portman. You won't be disappointed, I promise. Becastled. When I played the game, I was really impressed by the graphics, mechanics and the lightness of gameplay in general. And I do not mean the storage space it takes, which is also ridiculous for a modern game. 1 GB of free cosmos and that's it. I literally didn't expect it to be so tiny.
That's what she said.
Yeah, this game doesn't contain any additional stuff that distracts you from the gameplay itself. Many developers forget the main thing of gaming. Keep it simple, keep it fun. And this is simple, nice and fun title. Monster Sanctuary. Some time ago something happened and platformer games started to develop deepness. Monster Sanctuary is one of those examples when you put a huge interesting game into a 2D side-scrolling setting. Basically it's sort of a Pokemon game where you collect various monsters and use them for your own interest and pleasure. They do all the hard work for you and you gain all the benefits, so they are basically your slaves and have no free will of their own. They have to serve their master overlord and never think about returning to nature ever again, because once you enslave them, that's it, they are bound to your will. And somehow here, you are still a good guy. Doom Eternal. Definitely, this is one of the most entertaining first-person shooter games ever. Here, Hell's army has invaded Earth, and you must show those puny demons the way home. And by the way home, I mean you have to splash their intestines all over the place, walk in their blood and be as awesome as humanly possible. There are only a few games with such entertaining combat as Doom Eternal, but it also has a big flaw almost everybody hates. That is platforming. Yeah, here you occasionally have to jump over rivers of lava, climb walls and make precision leaps over and over again. That stuff is completely not cool when you play in the first person. I don't know why John Romero decided to ditch the Doom franchise and instead went and made Empire of Sin with only 49% of positive reviews on Steam, but I can feel with my butt that if he was in charge, the platforming part of Doom Eternal would be gone. Anyway, I do recommend the game, the price is fantastic. Karma, the Dark World. This is a first-person cinematic psychological thriller set in a dystopian world where the Leviathan Corporation is watching over you all the time. The plot is set in 1984, so you might have a clue what inspired this whole thing. Here you will explore an alternate timeline set in East Germany. The corporation rules with an iron fist, controlling its citizens by mass surveillance, social class rules, mind-altering drugs, and the promise that the gates to utopia will open to those who serve. And you are an agent working for the company. Using advanced technology, you will have to dive into the minds of the accused. You will investigate crime scenes, interview suspects, and report your findings back to the omnipresent brother from above. So, you are a bad guy, in some sense. You obviously don't know that. You will learn how to keep your sanity and wits safe, while uncovering a dark story of love, loss, and deception, when nothing is as it seems and every turn brings another twist to unravel. Looks like a very interesting piece. The Beast Inside. Here you'll play as a CIA employee, Adam, who leaves a huge city and moves to the countryside with his wife. All you need is to work in peace and silence on some secret military code that could change the outcome of the Cold War. So the countryside looks like a perfect choice. And as it turns out, absolutely unexpectedly, this area is quite opposite of a peaceful place. Game is basically a walking simulator, but in most dangerous situations you will be able to use your gun and shoot your way out. That is the worst part psychologically. You know, when you are in an ominous environment and suddenly the game gives you a gun, you don't feel safer somehow, quite the opposite. The price is great, so if you like spooky walking sims, it's a must-get, I think. Rust. The only aim here is to survive. Everything wants you to die. The island's wildlife, other inhabitants, the environment, other survivors, and so on. So do whatever it takes to last another night. The game itself is an MMO in very active development, with a guaranteed content patch every month. From regular balance fixes and improvements to AI and graphic updates, to adding content like new maps, musical instruments, trains, and drones, as well as regular seasons and events. There is always something interesting or dangerous, or both, happening on the island. You'll find procedurally generated worlds with map editor support. You can host your own servers, ride a vast array of vehicles from cars and trains to hot air balloons and helicopters. You can build houses, farm, or do almost anything you want. The game is huge. Not as huge as your mama though. Cossacks 3. This is a remake of the classic game that originally launched in 2000s. Here you'll find 20 nations, 120 different unit types, and over 220 different buildings. That sounds like an overkill, and believe me, it is. But it is also really fun to play. This game is like ultimate epic battle simulator before it was cool. Also, besides the battles on land, you can build an armada of battleships and attack your enemies at sea. The game offers 5 single-player campaigns. Cool feature is that the game lets you fight massive battles with up to 32,000 soldiers simultaneously on one battlefield. Just be sure that you have that NASA supercomputer for that. The Last Spell. This is a tactical RPG with roguelite elements, in which you have to defend a city against a hordes of deadly enemies. During daytime you will have to prepare your heroes and carefully choose how to rebuild your haven and position your defenses. Over the night you will use all your skills, traps and weapons to exterminate all the monsters coming at your walls. It won't be easy.
It's not your sister.
Then in your spare time you will heal, level up and repeat until the magic seal is broken. The game has similarities to the Arbillions. The only difference here is the game is turn-based and not an RTS, so you can carefully plan your every move. Although that doesn't mean that it is an easier game. By contrary, the game even feels unfairly difficult from the start. But as you play you get more and more cool stuff you can use against your enemies and you start feeling like a boss. That won't be for long, believe you me, difficulty spikes are quite common here, although they are all conquerable. The game seems to know what your limits are, and people who tried The Last Spell really liked it. On Steam it has around 90% of positive reviews. Borderlands 3. You'll blast through weird worlds and enemies as one of 4 world hunters, the ultimate treasure-seeking badasses of the Borderlands, each with deep skill trees, abilities and customization. So in this looter-shooter RPG you will play solo or join the battle with friends to take on an epic enemies, score loads of loot and save your home from the most ruthless cult leaders in the galaxy. With bazillions of guns and gadgets, every fight is an opportunity to score new gear, and that gear is more than crazy. Firearms with self-propelling bullet shields? Check. Rifles that spawn fire-spewing volcanoes? Obviously. Guns that grow legs and chase down enemies while cursing? Yeah, Got that too? On Steam, Borderlands 3 is an owner of very positive reviews, so it's a no-brainer if you like shoot and loot. Just grab the game and be happy. Make your enemies unhappy by making them die. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, Heart of the Chornobyl. Here you'll dive into the zone, a specific place around the area where Chornobyl power plant exploded one beautiful day. You probably saw the HBO series already that was filmed in my hometown of Vilnius, Lithuania. If not, do it. Jared Harris and Stellan Skarsgård were wonderful, and the series will perfectly immerse you into a cruel and deadly Soviet bureaucracy. Anyway, the zone around the power plant is deadly as well, and only the madman could go there and search for artifacts from another dimension in hopes of getting rich. You are that madman. Everyone calls you a stalker, but you are not alone. The whole community of people like you are scavenging these forsaken lands. Some are friendly, some are not. That's why you have an arsenal of various weapons. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but my advice would be shoot first, apologize later. You have no friends there. The scariest thing, of course, are not other scavengers, militia of every sort, or even anomalies, but creepy mutants. Oh man, I played the original games when I was a teenager and I was a bit traumatized by some of them, especially by that invisible shithead in the sewers. And he's back again. A bit too often, to be honest. After you kill it for like the 5th time, it's not scary anymore. But there are scarier things lurking in the depths of abandoned military facilities, and they will gladly meet you and eat you, or worse. Anyway, in a broader sense, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is not a horror game, but it often has strong horror episodes and a menacing atmosphere as well. Not as menacing as your ex-mother-in-law, but still really terrifying. And also, it is a beautiful game, and the visuals are fantastic. BioShock Remastered. This is an immersive sim shooter loaded with powerful weapons and interesting tactics. You'll have a complete arsenal at your disposal, from simple revolvers to grenade launchers and chemical throwers, but you will also be forced to genetically modify your DNA to create an even more deadly weapon, which is you. So there is only a small chance that you have never heard about the game, but I can assure you that BioShock is one of the best first-person shooter games ever created. And this remastered version includes some additional content, 65 Steam achievements, full controller support, modern textures, and of course 4K support as well. Second part is also discounted, but if you never played BioShock, start with the first part. The game is story rich and it would be a shame to skip a huge part of it. Hogwarts Legacy. I had a lot of fun playing this game, although I bought it with the idea of playing it a bit, making a review to my channel and forgetting about it. Well, turns have tabled while I played it. It was so much fun to explore the land and meet various characters, I refused to convert it into a job. So I just played the game for my own pleasure and completely skipped it on my channel. All in all, Hogwarts Legacy was one of the few games that actually survived the hype train and never crashed anywhere. The game has above 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and I would give the game 10 cold beers out of 10 without much thinking. The world is very detailed, quests are handcrafted and fun, magic truly feels like magic, and the world is really open. Although the map is shaped like a bow, very narrow and long, but that's maybe a thing of a lore. I don't know, I have never read the books, only seen the movies. Only thing that actually spoiled the game a bit was how soon I got the ability to fly. That absolutely crashed the exploration on foot part. Flying in Hogwarts is awesome, but I would have given this ability way later in the game. The variety of enemies also could be wider, but hey, it's a great game. You have all my recommendations.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. And, you know, subscribe or something.